Jess from Non-Stop Kids, and you find me in my story chair, which means it can only be one thing, guys. It's story time! Woo! Who's ready for some stories? Put your hands in the air. I am so ready, and today I have got the fantastic tale of Alice in Wonderland. So make sure you're sitting in your story chairs too. Go and grab some snacks, grab a drink, get comfy, and let's read a story together. Here it is. It's our story today of Alice in Wonderland. Now, can you hear that? That's my music, and I'm going to be having lots and lots of music in this story, and sometimes I might need you to do some actions to the music because this is interactive story time. So make sure you're listening out and listening for the music, but I might ask you to do some challenges for me to help with the story. Do you think you could do that for me? Excellent. So I think we should begin. One summer day, a young girl named Alice found herself trapped with a history lesson. While her sister read of ancient kings, Alice crowned her cat. The day was simply too splendid for lessons, thought Alice. As soon as she could, she slipped away from her lesson. Oh, she sighed, in my world there would be no lessons. All would be nonsense. As Alice dreamed of her wonderland, a well-dressed white rabbit came along. I'm late for a very important date. Let's listen to the music. Oh, it's getting a bit tense. He must be going somewhere awfully important, Alice said. They followed the white rabbit down the rabbit hole. Right, we're going to have to be the white rabbit, and we are very, very late, so we're going to run as fast as we can from the spot. And we're going to look at our watch. And if you want to have ears as well, we need to look which way we're going. And you can say, I'm late for a very important date. Run as fast as you can. Oh my goodness, we're very late. Which way do we need to go? Have a think. Run as fast as you can. I'm late. Oh, okay. Now, they followed her to the rabbit hole. Alice squeezed into the rabbit hole, even though she knew she did not belong there. After all, she said, curiosity often leads to trouble. She fell down the hole. Everybody fall down the hole. Ah! Oh no! Alice's voice disappeared into a dark hole along with the rest of her. She floated down through the darkness. As a lamp drifted past her, Alice turned it on and looked about. Curiouser and curiouser, she said. Look at her falling down. No! Let's see what else. As Alice landed, a pair of white rabbit feet ran past her. Oh wait, Mr. Rabbit, she called, and ran after them all the way to a little door. As she twisted the doorknob, a nose wriggled under her hand. Oh, what a strange place, Alice thought. She asked the doorknob if she could go through. Sorry, said the doorknob. You're much too big. Why don't you try the bottle on the table? A glass bottle labelled Drink Me appeared. With each sip, Alice shrank. Oh, she get nice and small. How small can we go? Can you be the smallest you can ever be? Oh, tiny, tiny, tiny. Now she could fit through the door. But the door was locked. Tiny Alice couldn't unlock the door. But a magic cookie made her giant. How big can you be now? Show me your biggest statue. You made her really big. But now Alice couldn't fit through the door because she was so big. She began to cry, and her tremendous tears flooded the room. Alice shrank herself again and floated through the door's keyhole in the glass bottle. So we are going to do some sailing. So we're going to imagine we're on the river and we're going to be sailors. So can you show me your best sailor pose? We can do these pirate arms. Can we do this? And you can even do a pirate noise if you like. Arr! Very good. And Alice floats through this river of tears and goes through the door. Here we go. Sailing through, Alice goes. Fantastic. Well done. A wave swept Alice into a very odd race. Some fish and some birds ran round a dodo who was smoking a pipe. They were trying to get dry while the waves kept getting them wet. Now Alice, she spotted the white rabbit ahead of her and washed up in an umbrella on the beach. Mr. Rabbit, she called, and started following him into the woods. Mr. Rabbit, excuse me. Instead of finding him, however, she found a pair of twins. Now, you might already know the name of the pair of twins. They are called Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Now, they are very, very silly. Let's listen to the music. It might be silly music. Oh, I hope so. I'm Tweedledee, said one. And I'm Tweedledum, they said. Alice told them she was looking for a white rabbit because she was curious about where he was going. Oh, this looks like good music. I think we should do our silly faces. Can we do any silly faces? Silliest faces you've got for Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Oh. That's very good. Can we do it again? Silliest faces. Very good. Tweedledum sighed. It can be dangerous to be too curious, he said. I'm sure you are right, said Alice, but hurried off to find the white rabbit anyway. Oh, she's not listening to anybody, is she? But then she met somebody else. Now this one is a bit slower. Alice ran further into the wood and came upon a caterpillar making smoky vowels. Now, does anybody know what a vowel is? You might do. You might already know. It's A, E, I, O, U. So can we say A, E, I, O, U? This is how the caterpillar would talk. And who are you? He asked, puffing out a big U. Can everybody do that? Alice blew away the smoke around her head and blew the caterpillar right out of his clothes. Are you ready? We're going to do a big blow after 3. 1, 2. Off he goes. Alice was worried until she saw that the caterpillar had now become a butterfly. The new butterfly told her, one side of the mushroom will make you grow taller and the other side will make you grow shorter. With that, he flapped his wings and flew off into the sky. Alice broke off 2 pieces of the mushroom. I wonder which side is which, she said with a shrug. She bit into one of the pieces. Everybody munch on that piece of mushroom. She soon found out which piece it was. Alice sprouted up through the trees and caught an angry bird's nest on her head. She had to get back to normal size quickly. She bit into the second piece. Everybody eat. Then just licked the first piece. Normal sized again, she put the mushroom in her pocket. Now, as she carried it through the woods, she searched for some signs of the white rabbit. She did find signs, but they didn't really help her very much. Just then, she heard singing and looked up and saw a grinning Cheshire Cat. Can you show me your biggest smiles? Very good. Can we hear him singing? Let's listen. Oh, I think I can hear him. Let's all show him our big cheesy smiles. We're being the Cheshire Cat. Very good. If you'd really like to know, he said, the White Rabbit went that way. The Cheshire Cat tipped his brow. Of course, if I were looking for a white rabbit, I'd ask the Mad Hatter. Most everyone's mad here. Now Alice walked again until she could hear more singing. Let's listen. Oh, it sounds like a birthday party. That must be the Mad Hatter, she thought. She saw him sitting at the end of the long table with the March hare. Oh, everybody clap their hands. This sounds like a fun party. As the tea for twosome wished everyone a merry birthday, Alice tried to join them, but the pair started shouting, "No room!" A very, very young birthday to you. Clap your hands. Fantastic. But they kept saying, "No room, no room, move down, move down." Oh, I'm very sorry, said Alice, but I did enjoy your singing. I enjoyed your singing as well too, boys and girls. You enjoyed our singing, said the March Hare. What a delightful child, exclaimed the Mad Hatter. They sat Alice at the table and offered her tea. The Mad Hatter swept off his hat and wished Alice a very merry on birthday. There, on top of his head, was a merry on birthday cake. Alice blew out the candle on top of the cake and made a merry on birthday wish. Let's all pretend to blow out the candle. Oh, as if in answer to Alice's wish, the White Rabbit appeared. I'm late, the White Rabbit cried. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare decided that the White Rabbit's watch must be broken, so they decided to fix it with lemon and jam. I don't think that's the best way to fix a watch, guys. Alice shook her head and walked away. I've had enough of this nonsense, she said. Alice walked for a while, but couldn't find the path back through the woods. Oh, I wish something here would make sense, she said to herself. This nonsense world wasn't right for her at all. Above her, Alice heard the Cheshire Cat again. Let's see that smiley face. I want to go home, Alice told him. The Cheshire Cat opened a door in the tree. Alice stepped through into the world of the Queen of Hearts. Let me show you a picture of the tree in the door. Now we know, well, I know, the Queen of Hearts is not very nice. Let's listen to the music. We're in the royal court, let's be soldiers. Very good. The White Rabbit raced past her into the royal court. Perhaps, thought Alice, this was why he was always in such a rush. He wouldn't want to be late to announce the Queen. No one would. Her Imperial Royal Highness, called the White Rabbit. The Queen of Hearts. The cards cheered as the Queen entered. Everybody cheer after 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes! The Queen spotted Alice. Why, it's a little girl. Now, where are you from and where are you going? Alice curtsied and answered, I'm trying to find my way home. Your way? The Queen shouted. All the ways here are my ways. Your way? The Queen shouted. The Queen calmed down when she learned that Alice played croquet. The Queen loved croquet and the cards always made sure that she won. That's not very fair. The Queen chose a bird to play her shot and prepared to swing. Suddenly the Cheshire Cat appeared. Only Alice could see him, not the Queen. "You know," he said to Alice, "we could make her really angry," said the cat. "Oh no," cried Alice. "Stop!" But it was too late. The Cheshire Cat tangled the Queen's skirt, and as she swung, her feet tripped over, and she flopped down on the ground, and with her skirt flapping over her head. The Queen stood up. "Someone's head will roll for this! Can you show me your angriest faces?" "You!" she bellowed at Alice. "Yours!" The little king pulled on the Queen's skirt meekly. Couldn't she have a trial first? The Queen agreed. The White Rabbit read the charge. Alice had caused the Queen to lose her temper. "Are you ready for your sentence?" the Queen asked Alice. "Sentence?" said Alice. "Oh, but there must be a verdict first." "Sentence first. Off with her head." Everyone say, "Off with her head." 1, 2, 3. Off with her head. Alice dug into her pockets and found the 2 mushroom pieces. She stuck them in her mouth and grew until she was towering over the Queen. Big, tall Alice's, everybody. The King and Queen told Alice to leave the court. "I'm not afraid of you," said Alice. Just then, Alice felt herself shrinking. "Off with her head!" the Queen shouted once more. The court of cards began to close in on Alice. "I simply must escape," said Alice, and ran away as fast as she could. She ran through the maze and began to retrace her steps back through the woods, and soon found herself back at the beach in the middle of the race. Oh my goodness, I hope she gets away. The cards chased Alice down the beach. Through the wisps of smoke, Alice saw the doorknob and the little door again. She tugged at the doorknob. "I must get out! I must get out!" she grasped. "But you are out," replied the doorknob. Alice peered through the keyhole. There she was, asleep in the meadow. "Alice," her sister woke her. "Alice!" Alice looked around. The Queen and her wonderland were gone. Alice sighed. This day was simply too splendid for nonsense. And here she is, fast asleep, back, safe with her cat. And that's the end of our story. Well done, everyone! I hope you enjoyed that story, everybody. That's one of my favourite stories. But tune in next Friday for another story. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Oh, and make sure you join in with all the other bits that are going on in Non-Stop Kids. We've got science experiments, storytelling, more storytelling, balloon modelling, magic shows, dancing, singing, everything. So make sure you tune in. Bye, everyone.